learned yesterday. What was your experience yesterday on the class we had yesterday? The first day on our Excel data analysis. Can somebody tell us? And for those of us who missed the class too, have you been able to practice with what we did? Have you watched the recording? Or should I call name? Madam Sakina, you were in class yesterday. What can you say about yesterday's class?
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, madam.
Yes, sir. So, yesterday we learned about data. We learned
Okay.
about data. Then we did some things in Excel.
Okay. Good. Can you remember any of the topic we taught yesterday?
Yes, we named like how
Named
to
range,
change name in the name box, name
named
range,
named range. Great
named
job.
range. Yes.
Okay.
Then
Who else can? Yeah. Right.
okay, we did named range. Then we did
Mm.
some average, mean, max, some basic
Basic
mathematics.
effect. Okay.
Yes,
Functions. Okay.
yes.
That's
And
good.
then
Thank you. Okay.
we did absolute and relative referencing.
Absolute and relative referencing.
Yes, along with the mixed referencing too.
Okay. With referencing. Okay. Okay. Madam Miriam Alabi. Any addition to that? Any addition to that?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Though I wasn't in the class yesterday, but I've gone through the video and the recording, and we discussed about your mixed reference. The sum you started with sum, average, mean, median, and mode. Yes, yes.
Okay.
And
You didn't let me down mode though. We stop on our
sorry,
we have the mean and max.
mean and
Average,
max.
mean
Yes,
and max. Yes.
average, sum. Then
Yes.
we talk about absolute reference, relative reference, and the mixed reference. We talk about the number formatting also.
Okay. Good job.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. I like that. I just do that so that at least I want to be sure that we are together. I think we ended yesterday's class on the number formatting and how to format numbers and make some meaningful things out of numbers. Number will remain numbers, but we can make it look as we wish by using the number formatting option in Excel or number formatting tool in Excel, either with Control 1 or whichever method like. That is that. Then, so today, we're going to continue from where we stopped, and we're going to start with conditional formatting. Conditional formatting. So when we talk about format yesterday, you can say that we are the one determining how a number will look like. Do this, want it to look like number, to look like decimal, to look like full number. You want to add zero at the beginning, you want to add something at the end. So all those things are number formatting. But in Excel, there are situations whereby we want to predefine the way a number will look like. That is, before the number gets to that cell, or we have 100 of cells, we want to set how each of them behave. Okay. Assuming we want to see, in this case, we want to see whoever is earning below 3,500. let me see this. Okay, here, look at this range. Somebody has, okay, please, I want to see all the sales below 3,000. What do? You might be prompted to be checking one by one. You want to identify them, you can be prompted to be doing like this. This is a method. This is a method. One can start doing like this and start formatting one by one. Go to home button again, format. So you can consider this is a method. It might be right or wrong. This is a method. But if you have a long list, in this case, we only have like 5. Okay, it can take just a small time. But what about when you have a longer list, like 100,000 customers, and you want to identify those who sales are below 1,000, those who sell are below whatever, and you want to identify them differently? What do? That is when we use what is called conditional formatting. Okay, lest I forget, I learned that some of us want to share our screen. Please don't bother to share your screen. Don't share your screen. When you are on team, watch the class or what I'm doing in class. When I ask you to practice, practice then. Don't be practicing when I'm talking. Some people want to share the screen to 2 so that part will be for Excel and part will be for the teams. Use one screen. Minimize Excel, maximize Teams. When you want to work on team, minimize Excel. When you want to work on Excel, maximize Excel. That is the way to go. Is that clear? So don't let us share the screen into 2. Please, can you mute, please? Somebody's just joining us. Please, as I'm joining, let's be muted, please. Okay, so that is what is called conditional formatting, like I said. Now, how does it work? Let's quickly look at these numbers here. I'm going to demonstrate different things for us, but let's start from here. So when you go to Home tab, towards the right, after the numbers formatting tool, we have Style. So among the Style option, we have Conditional Formatting. We have Conditional Formatting here. So now, when you see that there's a drop down under this box. So the drop down is divided into 5 places. We have highlight cell rule. You can create a rule to highlight cells based on certain criteria. We can there's what is called top bottom rule. That's what is called top bottom rule there. We also have what is called data bar, color scale, and icon set. So I'm going to touch them one by one. Okay. So if you look at these highlight cells, in front of this, there are a lot of things we can do. We can highlight cells that are greater than something, or we want to highlight all cells that are less than, like the example I gave just now. We want to identify the cells that have cells of less than so. So you can just use this option, just select all the range, then you click on this. Let me quickly look at this. In this case, I want to highlight the sales that are less than 1,000. All sales that are less than 1,000. Click on this. Then select highlight sales that less than. Then you insert the amount of 1,000. Okay. So you will see that Excel has automatically discover all the sets that are less than 1,000. So without wasting your time, you already have them. If you have 100 of row, the same time it takes Excel, is going to use the same time. You can see that I immediately changed to 360. What happened? Change this to 990 or 999. Immediately Excel will identify that. So without me having to scroll up and down to squeeze my face before I can identify that. So we can also identify some other, there's more rules there. Under this conditional formatting, we still have some other rules, like we want to find number between certain numbers, between so number and so number, between this number and this number. You identify them. You can see it's already giving me this. It's okay. Now I want to have number between 500 and 900. Sorry, between 500 and 990. 900. Then you can change the number you can change the color here. The color you want, you can change the color. So that is how conditional formatting works. So you can also identify duplicates. Sometimes you want to know if there's a duplicate in the names. For example, let's look at this range. Look at this name now, this range. I want to identify duplicate names. Is there duplicate names? So I want to fill them in the pick a color. You can pick. Can look at. You can pick more color. Fill. Okay. So it's like there's no duplicate among the name. Look at the name. There's no duplicate. So the moment there's a duplicate, can you see? I duplicated this Ethan. Immediately, can you see that Excel has picked it and has highlighted it. So if you have duplicate and you want to identify where the duplicates are, your workbook will use this option called conditional formatting. Can I give you like 2 minutes to quickly do that, everyone? 2 minutes to do that, everyone. Let's do that within 2 minutes. You can't see my screen. What about now? Can you see it now, Madam Bukola? Can you see my screen now? Once you are done, type done in the chat box. If you are done, type done in the chat box. Yeah, Bukola Abiola, you said you cannot see my screen. Well, are you there? Or she has exited? Okay. So let's practice it in 2 minutes. Once we are done, type done in the chat box. Can you now see the screen now? That is how to use conditional formatting. So 2 minutes to do that, everyone. So you go to Home tab and you select. So remember before you go to conditional formatting, you highlight the range you want to format first. You highlight that range, then go to Home tab conditional formatting. Then you can highlight cells that contain, that contain. This is text. You want to identify a text that contain maybe so noun, so name, AK. You want to see a set that has maybe JA among them. You want to see any name that has a JA. So you see that quickly is showing me Benjamin, James, Jacob. So you can identify when you're looking for a name and you can't remember the name, you can just highlight a cell that contains certain part of the name. And that's good. That's how it's going to highlight it for you. Once you are done, type done in chat box. Conditional formatting. Once you are done, type done. We're ready. Okay, Madam Miriam, your question, please.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, I want to ask the question, what if we want to know the data about Daniel now? We want to see everything, and it will show color also, like Daniel, West, and 1400. We want to when we click on Daniel, it will show the Daniel with the color, so we can easily say the what we want to find. Like a drop down of the salesperson, and I click on the John now, it will shows John.
Okay.
I will be able to see the John easily with color.
Oh, I didn't get your question very well.
Like, okay, this salesperson now, we use a drop down now for the salesperson. And I want to use like the way you use conditional formatting now. I want to click on
Okay.
John, and it will shows color for the old John data.
Okay. When we click on John, we want to
Yes,
highlight
we
only
want to
John's
highlight. Yes, yes.
okay, when we click on John, we want to highlight the row, right?
Yes, yes, yes. All of the
Okay. I don't think this is done. I don't think that is done under the conditional formatting here. That's not the condition. Maybe when we get to the data validation, we can look at that and see how possible that is.
okay. Thank you.
Can you mute, please? Please, those are not speaking. Please, press remain muted. Okay. Okay. Good. So the next thing we look at, see under number formatting, is the highlight top bottom rule. Top bottom rule. Top bottom rule. So sometimes you want to know the top 10. You have a list of items. You want to know the top 10 or the least 10. Those people who score above average, all those things there. So those are part of what we can do when we are analyzing data. We have a data and we need to identify those who we want to know the top 10 people or the least 10. Sorry. We want to know the top 10, the least 10, and the rest. So let me first clear the rule, the one I have here. Clear rule from my entire sheet. So go back to the home tab. So in this case, we want to know the top 10 item. We want to identify the top 10 or the top 5. Let's say we want to identify the top 5. But you can see that we don't have 5 here. What do you do? So you select the top 10 and change the number to 5. Top 5 numbers, I want to identify them. Now you can see that these are the top 5 numbers we have here. The top 5 numbers identified. So instead of you to be using your idea to be scrolling up and down, so this will do that for you. So the same thing applicable to bottom 10 or top 10% or top 20%. You can say, okay, I want to know the top 20%, top 20%. You can also use percentage also. Or you want to see all the sales below average. And I want to fill them with yellow. All sales below average. So you can see. So automatically Excel will identify them. If any number fall below the average, you know how we calculate average now? That is the average we calculated yesterday. Average equals to average of this number. So Excel has calculated them, the average, and it's already, so any number that is less than 1125 will be in yellow. Can you see that it has done that without wasting our time? So this is the average, and Excel has identified average for us. The same thing applicable to any numbers above average too. You can also do the same thing for them. Is that clear? So the next thing we look at under conditional formatting is data bar. So you don't need to practice with top or bottom for now, since it's like the same thing with highlight cells. So let's look at the data bars now. Let's look at data bars. So let me close this again. Let me remove the let me clear the rule. Clear the rule from entire sheet. Now let's form another rule. Data bars. So I'm going to copy this. Okay, let me leave this. Let me leave them here. So go to Home tab, Data bar. These are what we have at data bar. So I will click on any, I can select any of these. We have gradient field, we have solid field, solid color. Can you see the solid color or gradient color? It starts fading little by little. That is the difference between the gradient and the solid color. So I can click on this. So look at this. Can you understand? Is it possible for you to understand what this means? Or how can you describe what is happening here? Can somebody do that? I just use data bars here now. How do you explain this data bar? What do you understand by this data bar? Can somebody explain what data bars mean? With what you see here, how do you interpret this? If I change this to 100, the bar has changed.
the bars will go down.
Sorry, Mr. Hakim. I think your screen is frozen at times.
Okay. Is that
So I
so
didn't
from
get
every student?
when you started. So
Is that so? Let other people confirm before I respond to that. Is my screen frozen, or is from your hand, so that you will know that it's from your hand? It's possible it might be from your hand. Let other people confirm if you are the only one experiencing that.
From my side, yeah, it's not frozen. It's okay.
Okay. So
It's okay. Okay.
okay. So if it happens again, you can exit and rejoin, or you change your internet source. Okay. So in short, I'm asking your data bar. How do you interpret this? This is just like a bar chart inside Excel sheet, Excel cell. You can see that the size. You can quickly see the size of each of the numbers. Assuming we have a numbers 1 to 10. 1, 2. We have scores 3 and 5, 7, 9, 9, 9. So we want to see. If we want to see what each of the students, we want to identify the failure or the pass whatsoever. You can use this to quickly show you what is happening. So with this, you can see those who pass and those who fail. You can quickly see and see the people. So this is like a bar chart, but a bar inside what? Inside the cell, which is representing the numbers in that cell. So each of the bar here, this long bar, represents this number compared to other ones. So the longest number here is 1,400. I think the next is 1,300, and the next and the next. So you can see. So the biggest one is 1,400, and it's full. That's a full bar. The shortest bar is 360, based on the value. So the bar is based on the value in that cell compared to each other. So it has compared them, and it's giving us what is happening. It's explaining what is happening in the cells. So this, in relation to other ones, is what we have as data bars. Can we try that in 2 minutes, everyone? Let's try that in 2 minutes. Data bars. Go to Home, select your data range, go to Home tab, and go and select data bar. You can select any color of your choice. Okay, you can see the higher the bar, the higher the figures. Great. Those numbers represent the bars is according to the highest to the lowest. Yeah, great. Okay, you missed the whole explanation on conditional formatting. We are still on it. You've not missed the whole. You are still on it. Just select the range of the data you have. Go to Home tab, and you can see a lot of things you can do there. You want to highlight cells. You want to highlight cells that give you top and bottom or above average. Data bar, color scale is also like the same too. You can also use color scale. Color scale is also similar to data bar. The only difference is that it gives different color. It gives different color on that. Are you done with data bars? Done. Okay, great. Okay, done. Okay, so the next thing we look at is color scale. So I think we can do that ourselves. Just go to everybody, continue with color scale. Just go there again, change the rule to color scale. The color scale. So you can first clear. Let's first clear what we have there before. Clear the current rule. Clear the current rule, and now use the color scale. Color scale. So you can see that it's telling us that we can see the blue color represent those with the higher numbers, while the red represent the lowest numbers. So it has grouped them into different colors. It has grouped them into different colors. It has grouped them into different colors. So that is how color scale works. Color scale. So you can have two colors. You can have so you can see different colors that you can use. So that is color scale. Okay, then the last one we're going to look at here is icon set. We can also use icon set too. Icon set will represent, it will tell us, it will group the numbers into how many icon you have. It will group the color into how many icon you have. So conditional formatting, icon can be anything here, showing different stage. Those on the low, the medium, and the high. This is another one. So you can see there, some with empty bars, empty whatever, and some are bigger and bigger and bigger. So you can see them. So those are icons that you can also use to identify that these are the low number, the one facing the right and the one facing up. The higher number, the medium number, the lowest number. So those are what we do under. So I will not want to go too deep into this, but let me quickly show you something. Everybody should stop down and look at my screen, please. So there are also where you can create your own rule. You can also create rule. So these are the rules that you can create. You want to format their cells based on their values. Based on their values. So like those are the highlight cells with social numbers. So here you can say, okay, you want to have what you want to do. When you select any of this option, when you select any of the option, you can see the option to have there. For example, when I click on this, based on the value, I can say, okay, you can say, okay, what do you want to do with it? Color scale or data bar or icon set. When you select it, okay, what do you want? The minimum number. You want to use number from 0, and the minimum number should be 0. The highest number should be what? Should be the highest number should be so. And what color should be the color for the yellow for the smallest number? Let's say this. And what should be the color for the highest number? So here you can manage your rule. For set that contains, you can change here. Do you want the number that contains a text or a date or a blank or error? So like so you can select any of these options and format it accordingly. Any cell containing or does not contain, or any cell that begin with, or any cell that end with. Getting me? So those are the things we can do here under this containing. So you can do so many things here. Just go and check. You won't see any number that contain error. You want to format it as how. So Then you have the other ones, top, bottom. So the top 10, or if it's a percentage, you check this. So and so on. So you can also use formula to determine which cells to this. If the formula is true, then format it and select the color of your choice. Okay, so that is all about the conditional formatting. So the next thing we look at is data structuring, the structured data structuring. So any question on conditional formatting before we move to data structuring? That's how to use tables in Excel. Any question? Any question? Okay, now let's move to the next table, which is using tables. So when you talk about tables in Excel, when you talk about structured data in Excel, you are talking of tables. Remember, I'm talking about Excel now. In Excel, we have range and we have tables. If you look at this data here is in a range. I want to copy the data, Control C, and I want to paste the same data here, Control V. You can see the two, we have the same data here. Now, I will click on this, the first one here, click on the first one here, then you press Control T, Control T. So you can see that it's already creating a table for me. It said create a table. Control T means create tables. The next thing is, does your table has header? Yes, sales, region, quarter one, these are my headers. So I will check this box. If your table does not have headers, you uncheck this box. Then you hit OK. But in this case now, our table has header. I will click on this and hit OK. Can we try it now, everybody? Select anywhere, any part of that cell. Click any part of the cell, any part of the data, anywhere. Then press Ctrl T. Press Ctrl T. So once you press Ctrl T, so you hit OK. You can also use this option here. When you click on your data, you can also go to Home tab. Beside your conditional format, you can see Format as Table. You can also use this option too to create a table. You can also use this option, Format as Table, to do the same thing. That is the option beside conditional formatting. And you can even select any kind of table you like. Okay. Okay. Now, quickly look at my screen. Are you done with that? With creating tables? Just click on data and press Ctrl T. It will bring out this option and it will show you the range the data is going to create table upon. You can see a dancing broken line. You can see a broken line dancing around my data. It's telling me that is this your data beginning to end? And I say okay. If I'm okay, just hit okay. If it's not that, then you can change this range of data here. You can change it yourself and identify where your data ends. Okay.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
Okay, so you gave us an alternative way to create a table, but I didn't get that.
I said you can select your data. These are your data, right? Go back to your Home tab. You see this option here, Format as Table.
I don't think it's showing. It's not showing.
It's there. Your format might your Excel might be different from mine, but it's always there. You have the option there under Style. You see style option.
Under
If
style.
you have,
Yes, I've seen style.
yes, you see a drop down under
Oh,
style.
format
Click on
of
that drop
table.
down. Yeah, you can see it there.
Okay. This one.
Good afternoon, sir.
So you can always do that. That is another option to create table. Once
Okay.
again,
Do we
somebody
just click on any
Good afternoon,
any
sir.
point
any
on the
design you
Excel
like.
sheet?
Yes. No. You have to highlight your cells. Select the entire cell if you want to use that option.
Good afternoon,
Okay.
Select the
sir.
entire data. Select the entire data that you want to format. Then you go back to Home tab. Select Format as Cell.
Okay.
Click any table of your choice, and it will format it for you like that.
Okay. Thank you.
That is that. You're welcome. Okay, somebody's asking questions. Somebody's calling. Good afternoon. Ask your question, please.
It's me, sir.
Okay. Go
Good
ahead,
afternoon,
Mr.
sir.
Oh,
It's me,
Mr.
Oluchukwu.
Okay, my friend.
Sir. Thank you, sir. I can't see what you are doing, sir. I just came in now. Sorry, please. Thank you.
You cannot see my screen. Maybe you rejoin. Exit and rejoin. Because my screen is off. And other people can see it. Yes. Other people can see it.
All right, sir.
That means from
Okay.
your friend.
Okay.
You can
All
exit
right,
and
sir.
rejoin again. Okay, good. Okay, now let's quickly see why are we learning tables? Why are we learning tables?
Sorry, sir. Before we move forward,
Okay.
if we want to remove the table formatting, what do we do?
We have not reached that stage. Have you created the table? Have
Okay,
you created
fine
the
then.
table?
No problem.
Yeah. So when we learn how to create table. Now, why are we learning creating of tables? Why are we learning it? So let's see what we can do with tables, and what we can do with table and other things, and every other thing around that knowledge. Okay. Now, when you click on the table, look at the top of your data, or look at the top of your screen. You will see additional tab. In my case, when you see Home tab, Insert, Page, Formula, you see a new tab here. Can you see a new tab here called Table Design? So when you see that, it means that your data is in table format. If I click on the other one here, I can't find it again because this is not a table. So you can see there's no table format here or table tool. Sometimes you can have table tool on your own. It depends on your Excel. For now, when I click on this, you see Table Design tab. If you can see that, type yes in the chat box. If you can see Table Design on your own screen. When you click on your table, do you have Table Design? If you can have Table Design, so if you have Table Design, then type yes in the chat box. Yes in the chat box. Okay, good. Okay, good. So if you can see,
Mr. Hakim, I didn't get that.
you didn't get what?
Please.
What didn't you get?
How to get a table listing.
Click on your table you created. Click on the table, you will
Okay.
see table design. You will see table design. If you don't see table design, it means your data is not a table. When you click on your data and there's no table design or table tool or design tool at the top, it means your data is not a table. It's just ordinary range. That's the meaning. Is that clear? So when you create a table, click on that part of the table, you will see this table design at the top. If you can see table design at the top, type yes in the chat box. Okay, yes. Mr. Majid. Who else again? Yes. Okay, great. So it means your data is in table. Once you click on it and it's not showing table design, your data is not in table. Forget about any design or any design you have there. Your data is not a table. But the moment you see table design, it means your data is stable. Now, before we move to table design, let me quickly show you two reasons why table is always good. when you are working in your data, when you create a table, and there's reason for you to extend that table, or you want to increase. Let's say I want to create Q5 sales. Q5 sales. Yeah. Look at my screen, please, everyone. Look at my screen. When you create Q5 table, can you see automatically it will merge it will create that table and merge it to the cell. So if I want to know my total sales from the north, yesterday we learned about. Let me insert a space, a column here. So now, yesterday, you remember we learned something yesterday about named range. As when we have named this row as north, so the moment we expand this, it will automatically join the part of the name we created. But for now, I'm going to change this to total now. Total. So let me quickly sum this together. Sum this range and close the bracket. The moment I hit enter, Excel will automatically apply the same formula across this row, across the column. Can you see it has applied the formula across the column? Also, if I want to increase the numbers there, and I write a key, I create a new name. The moment I create a new name, it will add it to the data also, which means that automatically, if I want to add anything together, it's going to give me the total. Now, let's look at this thing here. Please look at my screen for now. If you have created your table, if you have not created a table, no worry. Just look at what we are doing so that you don't miss another step again. Now, down here, yesterday we learned how to create a range, whatsoever, right? Now, we have, from this table now, we already have some names ready for this table. We already have some names here, like Q1, Q2, Q4 in this table. Okay, before we do that, so this one helps, like what I was explaining, to expand our table. It quickly helps us. The table will help us to expand as quick as possible. West. So, but if it is this one, you want to sum this thing, you have to now do your calculation again. If you are using range, it means if you have done a calculation before, you are going to redo the calculation again before you can get your total. For example, let me come here now. At the bottom here, sorry. Okay, sorry. Before we go there, let's go to table design first. Look at this table design. On the left side, you have table name. I want you to rename. I want you to rename that table name to sales table. Sales table. Let's do that. Let's start from there. Remember, you don't put space in your name, just like named range. You cannot add space to your name. So enter. I've renamed this table now. I've renamed the table to sales table. Now everybody should rename his own table now. Rename your table to sales table. Once you are done with the renaming, let us know. Rename your table to sales table. Let's rename our table to sales table. Once you are done, type done in the chat box. Done in the chat box. Okay, after creating data range, we need to create a table before we can see it. Yes. Type done in the chat box. Once you have renamed your table, type done. Great. So click on table design, then you see the name. That's the first thing you see on the left side. So I will tell you the reason why we are naming. Okay, I don't need to tell more stories. We already know why we create name yesterday. We've already learned how to create, why we create name. A name is very, it makes your job easier. Okay, now after creating, okay, can we move forward, please? Are you ready? I need two more done on creating name, creating tables or creating name. The main one, I need somebody else. Great. Now let's call the name out somewhere from here. I want to create a new sheet. Go to new worksheet. Let's do something here. Let's see if it works in another sheet. Equals to sales table. Go to another sheet entirely. Equals to sales table and click enter. So you can see your table here. The sales table is there. With a single formula, you already have your table. Yeah. Equals to sales table. So you have your sales table here. So then Control Z. That's not what I want. That's not what we want to learn here. But I just show you how to call the name from anywhere. You can see that we can call the name because we have created that name. The reason why I renamed this is that the name is table 1. You can have several tables in your data. If you don't give them name, you have to use table 1 to call it out because table 1, this and that. Now, I want to know my total sales in quarter 1. My total sales in quarter 1 from another workbook. I don't need to go back and be summing equals to those sum, then go and select the range. No. I can just say, look at my screen. Please look at my screen, please. Yes, that's the only value you are seeing now. It's only the value that is a table, not the header. Yes, you are right. So look at my screen, please. Equal to sum sales table. Look at sales table. I pick the table. Then I want to sum sales from quarter 1. The next thing I would do is that, you know, this square bracket on your keyboard. The next thing after the name is that you click on this square bracket here. This square bracket. Click on this. In front of the sales table, click on this open square bracket. It will show you all the columns in your data. Can you try that, everyone? In front of the table name, equals to sum, open the bracket, sales table. Then in front of the table, click on the square bracket. It will give you all the list of your column. Then you select any column and close the bracket, square bracket again, and the normal bracket. Hit enter. You can see your total sales here automatically. Total sales is there. So without leaving this table, we can see we have some quarter 1 sales from sales table. That is quarter 1 sales from what? From sales table. We have some quarter 1 sales. The sales, this is a column under what? A sales table. Let me do another one again. Let's say quarter 2. Quarter 2 sales. Quarter 2 sales. We want to find the average sales in quarter 2. Average sales in quarter 2 equals to average. Open the bracket. Call the name sales table. Then press the square bracket. Then select the column you want to find average of. Close that square bracket and close the formula bracket. 3125. Can you try that, everyone? Try at least one of it, either sum or average. Try one. And whatever you do, whatever you do, type it in the chat box. Sum, type sum if you practice sum. Type average if you practice average in the chat box. So let me go back to the table now. Okay, sum and average done. Great. Once again. Okay, sum done. Great. Average done. Sum done. Let's see what you are doing. Great. Sum and average done. Great job. Okay, I think we are moving together. Now, let's look at my screen again. Let's come back to the screen. So, see under table designs, at the bottom here, so you can resize your table. Assuming the Excel does not capture your entire table, maybe from row 1. If you have space in your table, sometimes you have a space, maybe there's an empty space. Excel might mistakenly means something like this. Okay. Excel can miss maybe this part and is only concerned about this. Create table for you from here to here. So you can resize your table. Resize your table under table design. You can resize your table and select the range again. The range, you can select the range again for yourself. Then somebody asks a question. When you want to remove table, how do we do that? You can see convert to range here. You can convert to range from here. So when you click on this, it will leave table and become range. So when you click on it next time, you cannot see anything there. If I click on this now, it will convert to normal range. So you can see that there's no table design again. So, but I'm going back to table design now, to table again. Control T. So go back to this. So we can also remove duplicate from a column or from anywhere. From a table, you can insert slicers. Look at how slicer works. You can say, okay, slicer can be you can use slicers for your sales. Let's say I want to use slicer for salesperson and region. Slicer is like a filter. Let's see how it's going to look like. Please look at my screen, everyone. Look at my screen. From table design here, I just click on what? Slicer, insert slicer. And I'm using slicer for two things there. Only for region. Let me use for region only. Hit OK. So when I click on West, you can see all the sales from the West is only showing. When I click on East, the sales from the East is showing for my table. When I click on the North, the sales from the North is showing for my table. When I click on South, the name of the South is showing. So I can remove the filter also. You can have more than one filter. If somebody was asking if we select a name, you can add a name. Let's say we have something like this. I deleted this. Let me go back again. This can show you just the name or whatever you select on salesperson. So the moment you click on the salesperson, so you can see it will show you Akim alone, Alice, Ava. So if you have more than one, Benjamin is going to. So this is like a filter, and instead of you to be clicking on this drop down here, this make sense and make your job easier. Just select on any filter you want to filter, and it's going to filter it for you automatically. That is how slicer works. Then also here, you also have total rows. You can add total rows to your table, and you can brand your table. You can brand your table color, branded row, all left and right. And this button here, you can remove filter button and you can show filter button in your table. This button here, this is it. And you can add total row. Let me add a total row. You can see a total row here has been added automatically to our data. So I can come here now and say, okay, I want to see my sum or average. What do you want to check on the quarter one? I want to see the sum. So you can go to quarter two, you can see minimum. I want to see the minimum number or average number here. So you can see anything you want to check, you can always use this to get standard deviation for this column 3 and what again? Let's say We want to count the numbers in what? We want to count the numbers in quarter 4. So you have the options on total row to select what you want to do with your data. So I think we are good on that table, so that we can move to the next thing on the agenda. So any question on that, on tables? Any question on tables?
Hello, Mr. Akim.
Hello.
Just a quick one. After naming your table and you copy the name to a new sheet, I don't know, it's not bringing out any value. It's not bringing out a table.
You only need, what is bringing out is the numbers. It only give you the numbers. Yeah, because the name, it has created the name. It's like when you want to sum a column. This is just a header for that column. These are the header for the table. It's only going to give you the content of that table alone. Are you getting me? It's going to give you the content of that table alone. If I add something to this one now, 120,000 to this 184. If you come back to this table here, this formula here, automatically it will change because I'm using table. That's the end of using table. If I use range, I have to come and update my formula. Okay, I will have to come and update my formula here. But because it's a table, automatically it will update itself. If I had a no row here, if I had a no row again, and I say okay, insert a row, insert a row, I can say okay, can say meal, and I say this from the south. Three 40,000. So 418. You can see automatically it will be expanding. But if it is here, you have to go and redo your formula again. Otherwise, you are going to give the wrong report. So as this expanding, automatically the system will be calculating it. So if you call a table, oh sorry, I've changed the name earlier. I've changed the name. I've changed it from after changing the table that time. I've converted it. I didn't rename it again. Sales table. Sales underscore table. Sales table. Okay. Now, if I come to this sheet and I call the name equals to sales table, so I don't expect the header to come with it. These are the content. You can see when I want to sum the column, when I want to sum something, it will sum the content of that under that column because it has created name for them already. It has created name. It has created name for them in that table, just like we created name yesterday under our named range. It will have created name for them, so you can call them. When you call this table, from what we have here now, you can see that I only click on one cell. This cell is just showing me the content. I can now say, okay, no, I don't need the entire cell. I just need a column. I can now say I can put the square bracket and select this, close the square bracket and hit enter. I have only the names there. Every other thing here are just a demo. This is the only formula we have. This is the only cell that is having. This is the only active cell. Look at the other cells; they are fainted. There's nothing I can do with this L. Are you getting me? So the main cell remain what? The cell 1 remain the main cell. So it's not like it's going to bring me all the sales table from no. But it's going to give me the content of the table, and I can as well do as much as I can want to do with it here. Okay. And when you're adding it together, you can always call the name to sum together. Okay, now let's quickly move to the next thing we're going to look at on this workbook, and that is data validation. data validation. So in Excel, that's what is called data validation in Excel. What do you mean by data validation? What does it do for us? Can somebody tell us, if you whatever you know about validation, tell us what do you understand by data validation? All we had, I just deleted the slicer now, or you go and check it. Go and check it where you added the slicer. You can go and remove there. How to add data button under the table option there. You see the total button there. Table, you can look at my screen again. This is it. This total row. You can add either row or remove either rows too. So that is it. So you can practice more after the class. You can go and explore all the options there. So what do you understand by the term data validation? Can somebody tell us? What do you understand by data validation? Data validation. Don't read the grammar there. Don't read. Just tell us from your own English. What do you understand by data validation? Hello? Did I mention name?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Yes, by creating rules for the kind of data to be entered into the cell.
Okay, that is called data validation. Data validation is the situation whereby you want to control the kind of data, you want to reduce the kind of error that can possibly be entered into a cell. That is called data validation. Remember, when you fill some form online, you might be prompted, they ask you for email and you put a name there. It will not accept, it will tell you that's not a valid email address. So it's possible like that. So when you have something like that, that is data validation. It will tell you that the number you are putting here is above so number you need to put. You cannot put more than this. Those are what? Data validation. How does it work in Excel? Let's quickly look at that. Okay. Sorry, there's a question here. How do we add the total column, not row? I didn't get you. Do you mean the total column here? The total column on the right side? We type it, we just added this manually. You can add anything, whenever you join anything to your row. If there's no space between the table and the next cell, it will add it to a table. If I come back here and I put you here, can you see it has added to my table? That's how we created this manually. Table works on a column form, not on a row form. Table works on the column, not on a row. Is that clear? Great. Okay,
Sorry, Mr. King. Sorry, please,
yeah.
before we proceed, those drop down arrows at the top, what do they signify? Do they have any function?
Filter button. You can use to filter. You can use to sort. You can sort from largest to smallest. You get me? You can sort in alphabetical order, A to Z. And you can also filter. You can use to filter. I want to see all sales from Akim alone. Just like slicer, it will give you this. This is filter. And you can clear the filter. So those are the jobs. That is what they do. I want to see all the sales from West. I can uncheck this and leave the West alone. Bam. Is that okay?
Okay.
So
Thank you.
that is called it's called a filter button. It's called filter button. We are still going to filter. That's why I didn't bother about that. We are going to sorting and filter later. Okay, good. So data validation, that's just about data validation. You want to restrict what can be entered into a cell. Imagine you are typing, we are working on a score sheet where you have maximum of 0 to 100, and somebody mistakenly types 700 in your this thing, or 170 where you want to cite 17. Somebody scores 17 and mistakenly type 170. You can see that there's a mistake here. It's just far above the main data. So how do we control what is entered into a cell? So let's quickly do that. I'm going to copy this, or let's just do like this. I'm going to delete everything in this cell. Then I will go to, I want to enter the quantity here must not be more than 100. Maximum quantity here should be 100, right? Maximum quantity here should be what? Should be 100. I can come back, I can come here, and sorry, go to data validation, data here. You see what is called data validation here. If you cannot see it, you can see that it's not showing up here. Just under the data tool, over around them like this. And if your own has a drop down, click on drop down and look at data validation. You have text to column, we have remove duplicate, we have flash fill, and the rest. So I'm going to click on data validation and select this option. Please look at my screen first before you do anything. Now, I want something, I want to restrict numbers in these cells. And also, okay, I want all number in this cell, and the whole number should be between, it should be between 50 to 100. It shouldn't be less than 50 and must not be more than 100. I hit okay. Now that is good. Now let me come back here now and type something here. Let me type 67, and the next person type 23. We try. No, it will not accept that. Because what? Because I've validated that there's a rule that the only thing that can be typed into this cell is what? Is between 50 and 100. So if I type 76 here, it will accept it. Anything outside that range will not be accepted into the range. Everybody, can we try that? Select this range, then go to data tab, click on data validation, then select all number. Select all number and the type minimum of 50, maximum of 100. Then hit OK. Then go and check if it is working for you. It should. I will tell you this short story how I got to know this formula. I got to know data validation. While you are working, you can be listening while you are working. I downloaded a fixed asset register from online, and I started inputting all the assets of our company into the software. When I reached plant and machinery, and I put the millions of amount there, the system, the template rejected my figure. And I've worked on plant office equipment, furniture and fitting, motor vehicle. I've done a lot of work. Now, will this stupid template stopping me from achieving my aim? Why is it not accepting it? That is not this AI period where you can quickly ask AI. I started doing troubleshooting, asking questions online till I discovered that the cell were validated not to take anything above 10 million. When I broke the rule, I just keep enjoying my register. And register was what I used till I left the place of work. So you can use it to restrict anything. You can use it to restrict anything. Even you can use it for invoicing. For invoicing, you can also use it to create an invoice. You can use it for payslip. For so many things, you can use it for so many things. The very, very good tool. Okay, so are we done with the old number? Are you done with old number? Yes or no? The validation is under data tab. Go to data tab, go to data tool. You will see it among them here. You see data validation among the tools you have under data tool, under the data tab. Is that okay? Mr. Abajide, go to data tab, go to data tool, then you see data validation there among this group here. Okay. So then see we look at this list. I want to delete this list again here. But I have the list here on the right side.
Sir, I didn't see it, so sorry.
Is there? Go back to your data tab. You have data tool, right? You see data tool on data tab. Yes. On your data tab.
I've
Data
not
tool is
seen it.
there. Is there. Anything from example and 7, you find it. Data tool is there. Send your screenshot. Screenshot your cell and send to WhatsApp. Screenshot your screen. When you go to data tab, screenshot or you snapshot with your phone.
Data tool. Okay.
Yeah, you see it there. It's there.
Okay.
Anybody
okay.
from
Thank you.
2007 to date is there. It's very whole.
Okay. Thank you.
Exactly. Welcome. Okay, now
Okay.
we are selling. We have this product we are selling, all the list of the product. But we don't want somebody to mistakenly mistype carrot like this or carrot and that carrot like this. Because when you are doing analysis, these two are not the same. When we're analyzing your carrot, this one will not be added to your carrot. This will add separate. So when you are doing analysis, it's going to give you issue. So to ensure that there's accuracy in what is typed into this cell, you can do validation for it. Now look at my screen once again. I'm going to highlight this cell, then go to my data tab, go to data validation, and click on list. Since I already have my list somewhere, I can just click on list. I can type my list out. Banana, comma, carrot, comma. I can type it out like this. And I can also select this list. From this source here, I can just select the source here. You can see that the list is in what? In absolute reference. It means that it cannot change. So now I can come back here now. If I want to type, I can just see a drop down here. I can pick banana. From drop down here, I can change this to apple. I can come here and I can type apple myself. But if I mistakenly type apples, no, it will not accept that from me. It won't accept that mistake. No, it will not. So those are the ways retry, like it will not accept that. So that is how data validation work with list. So you can just go and try it for more options. There are so many options there that you can also try.
Hello, sir.
Hello?
Yes, sir. Sorry, sir. Sorry to take you back a bit.
Don't take us back. Ask your
Yes.
no,
That slicer. I've performed the slicer. I've performed it, but I want to remove it back. How do I do that?
Just delete it now.
Okay.
Click on slicer and delete, and click delete on your keyboard. That's all.
Okay.
Click on slicer and click delete on your keyboard. Yeah. Okay. So those are what we can do with validations. There are more things we can do there. We can under this value, you can see you can restrict time, date, custom. This is where you can create your own formula. Time, you create time, list, decimal, odd number, text length. Any text that is above so numbers, you can say, okay, should not be more than this, or should not. Text length of the text in that cell. Maybe somebody is typing their name, and you don't want it to be less more than 30 digits. So if somebody has a long name like my own, Mustafa Abdulhakim Adekunle Alani Abegbe, all those name that is very long. By the time you reach 30 characters, it's going to stop you. It will not accept it from you. Now, let's quickly look at some other things we can do under validation here. So what we can do here is there's what is called input message. There's what is called input message. Sometimes when you create a rule, you input some message so that somebody who wants to use it will know what you want there. For example, you want to add the name of the state names. You can say, okay, state names. You can come here and say, okay, enter a state name in Nigeria. Right? Now, that is okay. That is the name. That is the input message that we have here. We can come back to settings here, and we say, okay, list. The list should be name of state Nigeria. Osun. I will just type or a name of state in Southwest. Lagos. That's a list we want here. Oyo, comma, Ogun, comma, and Ekiti. So and so on. So let's hit OK and see what's going to happen. So when I come back here next time, I see that immediately I click on this cell, it's showing me, it's giving me instruction. Enter a state name in Nigeria. So I can pick a name or I can type a name by myself. So that is what this enter message does. So it means when somebody click on that cell, it will tell you what that cell is expecting from you. That is that. Then let's go back again to data validation, same cell that we have. There is still more option here. There's what is called error alert. By default, it works with stop. It works with what? Stop. It means that it will not accept any error message, any mistake from you. It won't accept you. If you have to retry, you retry. But sometimes you can also change it to warning. You can change to warning. The warning sign, you can use stop, you can use warning. Stop will not allow you to go, but warning will ask you, are you sure what you have done is correct? Then you can hit OK. If it is warning, it means it will give you option to say yes or no. Are you sure the name of the state you type is correct? It's asking you. If you are sure, it's okay. Then it will allow you to go. But it will warn you before accepting that content. That is what warning does. So under the error alert, you can also put something here also. Please stop. Please check. Ensure a state from Southwest is entered in this cell. That is what this error alert is for. So you can put error alert. So it's okay now. Now, can we now try and put an error message here? It's asking for state name. Now let me quickly put Kwara or Niger State here. Niger State. Can you see now? It says ensure a state from Southwest is entered into this. Please check. Can you mute, please? So you see that it's now asking you, do you want to continue? Yes or no? I say yes. it will accept it, Niger. So those are what we can do under data validation. Any question on that? Can we try it? Let me give you like 3 minutes to practice with the messages, both enter message and error message and alert. 3 minutes for that, everyone. 3 minutes to practice. Once you are done, type ready. Type ready in the chat box. Once you are done, type ready in the chat box. Ready in the chat box. Once you are done, type ready in the chat box.